Today, I want to ask you an important question. Do you realize the value of your life? Perhaps, at this moment, you're going through darkness, doubt, or even despair. But what if I told you that your life is more precious than you can imagine? No matter what you're feeling right now, you are here for a purpose. There is a divine plan for you, even if you cannot see it yet. In Isaiah 43 verse 4, God reminds us, "Since you were precious in my sight, and I have loved you." Yes, you are precious in God's eyes. And if He sees you that way, why can't you see the same value in yourself? Stay with me until the end of this video, because I am going to show you how to find the true value of your life, and the power it has to impact the world around you. The uniqueness of your life. Maybe you've been through moments when you felt invisible, insignificant, or even without purpose. But here's the truth, there is no one else like you. Psalm 139 verse 14 tells us, "I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made, your works are wonderful, I know that full well." You were created by God in a unique way. Every detail of who you are was carefully designed. Your experiences, your gifts, your struggles, all of this is part of who you are. Perhaps right now, you are facing challenges so great that it seems impossible to see any value in your existence. But what you need to understand is that these challenges don't diminish you, or they shape you. Just as gold is refined by fire, every difficulty may be preparing you for something greater. Are you enjoying this message? Then go ahead and subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. Here, you'll always find words that will motivate you and help you see the true value of your life. The purpose God has for you. Have you ever stopped to think that God has a specific purpose for your life? Jeremiah 29 verse 11 tells us, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." This plan is especially for you. Maybe right now you can't understand how or why. But every day you live is a page that God is writing in your story. The world may try to make you believe that your life doesn't matter. Difficulties may scream that you won't make it. But God, the creator of the universe, is saying, "I have called you by name, you are mine." Isaiah 43 verse 1. When you feel like you are alone, when the struggles seem unbeatable, know that there is a greater purpose. And this purpose begins with recognizing the value your life holds. Life can be tough. But remember, God never abandons us. Romans 8 verse 28 tells us, "All things work together for the good of those who love God." This means that even the difficulties you're facing right now are being used for something good in your life. Even if you can't see it yet. Overcoming challenges and difficulties. I know, sometimes life feels overwhelming. The battles we face can make us believe that we are alone, that our struggles are unbearable, and that the darkness has no end. But it is precisely in these moments that we need to remember, God is with us. And every difficulty we face is an opportunity for growth. Romans 5 verses 3 to 4 says, "We glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope." This means that, in every battle, in every pain, a seed of hope is being planted. I know that in the heat of the moment, it can be hard to believe this. It may seem like God is not listening, that you're fighting alone. But just as a plant needs watering and nurturing, we also need to go through processes in order to bloom. Have you ever heard of the butterfly that struggles to emerge from its cocoon? If someone tries to help by cutting the cocoon, it won't be able to fly. It is the struggle to emerge on its own that strengthens its wings. In the same way, the challenges we face are not punishments, but opportunities to gain strength. God knows exactly what you need to become the person He created you to be. Your struggle, no matter how painful it is preparing you for something greater. It's not just about enduring the storm, but about learning from it, growing from it. Philippians 4 verse 13 reminds us, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." This means you are not alone on this journey. The strength you need does not come from yourself. It comes from God. And with Him by your side, you can face anything. The impact your life can have on the world. Perhaps you can't see it right now, but your life has a much greater impact than you imagine. Sometimes we think we need to do grand things to leave a mark on the world. But we don't realize that it's in the small actions that we touch the lives of those around us. Have you ever stopped to think how many lives you've already influenced without even realizing? The simple act of being present, of listening to someone, of offering a kind word, all of this makes a difference. In Matthew 5 verse 14, Jesus tells us, "You are the light of the world." You are called to be a light in the darkness, to bring hope to those around you, even in moments when you feel small. Know that through you, God can do great things. Think about the people around you, your family, your friends, even those you encounter in your daily life. You have the power to influence them positively, to bring light to their moments of difficulty. Your life, with all its imperfections and challenges, is a living testimony of God's grace. And when you decide not to give up, when you choose to keep going, you are inspiring others to do the same. Don't underestimate the impact you have. You may not see it, but your actions have a ripple effect, touching lives you may never know. In every small act of kindness, in every gesture of love, you are reflecting God's image in the world. 1 Corinthians 15 verse 58 tells us, "Be steadfast and immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that your labor in the Lord is not in vain." This means that nothing you do in love is wasted. Your actions, no matter how small they seem, have eternal value. Transformation, the dawn after the darkest night. Maybe right now, your life feels shrouded in a dark night, where everything seems hard and without a way out. The struggles may be so many that you wonder if you will ever see the light again. But here's the truth, no matter how long the night may seem, the dawn always comes. In Psalm 30 verse 5, we are reminded, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning." This is God's promise for your life. What you are going through now is temporary. Even if everything around you seems bleak and hopeless, God is preparing a new dawn for you. He is working, even when you cannot see it. And soon, the light of hope will shine again. The darkness you feel now is not the end. Think about how the sun rises in the morning, even after the longest night. The light may seem faint at first, just a small ray on the horizon. But as time passes, it grows stronger, illuminating everything around it. The same happens in our lives. God is bringing new light to you, even if it seems distant now. Isaiah 60 verse 1 reminds us, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." There is new light coming to your life. It may be hard to see when you're in the middle of the pain. But believe this, God is preparing something new. And this new phase will be one of restoration, joy, and purpose. You are not alone, God walks with you. I know that in the darkest moments, it feels like we are alone. Sometimes the weight of the struggles, disappointments, and losses makes us believe that no one understands what we're going through. But I want to remind you of a powerful truth: God has never left you. And He never will. In Deuteronomy 31 verse 6, He gives us this promise: "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." This promise is for you. No matter how great your pain, God is by your side. Even in the darkest nights of your soul, He walks with you. He feels your pain. And He is ready to lift you up even when you feel you have no strength left to continue. Many times, when we cannot see God's presence, it is because He is carrying us. Just like in the famous poem, Footprints in the Sand. In the most difficult moments of my life, when I needed you the most, that was when you carried me in your arms. If you feel alone right now, know that God is carrying you, and He will continue to sustain you until you are strong enough to walk again. Your life has immense value. And you are never truly alone. Because the God of the universe is with you. Every day, in every moment. Transformation, the dawn after the darkest night. Right now, your life might feel like an endless night, with clouds of uncertainty and pain. But I want you to remember something very important. The night always passes. The dawn always comes, no matter how long the darkness. Psalm 30 verse 5 teaches us, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning." This is God's promise for your life. What seems difficult now is temporary. Your life is not destined to remain in the valley of the shadow forever. There is a new dawn waiting for you. God is working even when you cannot see. And He is preparing a future filled with hope and joy for you. Have you ever seen how the sun rises gently after a dark night? At first, it seems like just a small light on the horizon. But as time passes, that light grows until it illuminates everything around. This is God's promise for your life. He is bringing a new day, a new hope. And soon the light will shine brighter than ever. Isaiah 60 verse 1 says, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." God is calling you to rise up, to leave the darkness behind, because a new light is coming. This is the light of hope, of restoration, and of a future full of purpose. Your incalculable worth, the greatest sacrifice for you. Now, I want you to pause for a moment and think about the greatest act of love that has ever happened in the history of humanity. The sacrifice of Jesus. He gave His life on the cross for me, for you, for each of us. This is the greatest example of love, and the ultimate proof that your life has incalculable value. You are so valuable that the Son of God Himself gave His life, so that you could live eternally. John 15 verse 13 teaches us, "Greater love has no one than this, that He laid down His life for His friends." And that's exactly what Jesus did for you. If you have ever questioned your worth, look at the cross. The sacrifice of Jesus is the greatest proof that you matter, that your life is worth it, and that you have an eternal purpose. Often, we let the world's circumstances make us believe we aren't good enough, that we aren't worthy of love, or that our lives have no meaning. But Jesus sees you differently. He sees the immense value you have. He didn't die for something worthless. He died for someone deeply loved. You. And that's why you cannot give up. Because your life is too precious. Ephesians 2 verse 10 reminds us, "For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." God has a plan for your life, and He wants to use you in ways you can't even imagine. Don't give up, the best is yet to come. If there's one thing I want you to take from this video, it's this. Don't give up. Your life has value. What you are facing right now is not the end of your story. God has a plan for you, and the best is yet to come. Maybe you can't see it right now, but God is working behind the scenes, preparing a future full of hope and joy. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who also needs to hear it. There are so many people, just like you, who need to be reminded that their lives matter. Let's spread this message of hope. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now. Here you'll always find words of encouragement and faith to help you walk in God's light. Remember, your life is valuable. You are loved, and God has great plans for you. May each day be an opportunity to live this truth and be the light the world so desperately needs. The best is yet to come. God bless you.